Hello, everyone. This is Saul. Today is the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. I don't know the rest of that. I'm not British or English. But it is November 5th. Yesterday was an election day. We got a bunch of things working. Actually, we got some things working. We got the things we mentioned yesterday, a bunch of stuff. The split on time was the main feature. But last night, I went and cleaned up some things that were on our list. Renaming of markers to sections, word to text, base rows to sub rows, etc. So I think that I got it all, and I have it in a commit now, or a cached staging area here. So I don't know, I can go over these changes, but they're pretty mostly straightforward. I do want to say that I added a speed change, F5, F8, and I have already changed the play toggle to P. P is both play and pause now, but from the current playhead. And then Shift P is the play from the current cursor position. We made it so that the cursor position is no longer the indicative of the playhead. That's just the colorizer option. I also added last night I added something. I changed the meaning of the cut column. No longer is it true and false or adding a string or whatever, but it's numbers. -10 means always cut, and 0 means undecided, and then anything above 0 means keep. And then hopefully the smaller the value, the more negative it is, the more I should be cutting it, and the more positive it is, the more I want to keep it. So I've got a cut row and a bump row. I don't quite like the names of these, but anyway, D and Y are the commands right now. And so I started looking at the things. Let me actually share this with you. Let me do a little demo here first before I get going with these things. So let's see here. Actually, I'm just going to clean up this to-do here. As long as I'm cleaning things up, I did that. I'm going to keep that. And then I can give a little demo as soon as some people are here. So yeah, and then looking through the various pieces here, I do want to do some of these editing tasks. I mean, I should clean up this whole to-do list at this point. Actually, that's the task I should be doing tonight. Well, tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow we are recording Mag Computer, hopefully, or at least some version of that. It's scheduled anyway, and so we'll be doing that. And then I have all of the editing to do, and I really need to not be recording anymore until I've got the editing going on. So that's the current situation. I can give a brief little demo here of it in action. Let's see, hopefully it's still working. This should be the current transcript that I've made here. I've done a couple of edits. You can scroll down to the various sections. There was one, here we go. I added this is a section that I liked. I wanted to keep this, so I marked it as, I bumped it to 2. I don't know, I just wanted to have something to mark it. And then yeah, Y and D are the commands to bump and cut things. So really I need to be listening through this whole thing, just marking and cutting. I meant to do it last night and I didn't. I'm not sure about these start and end and duration not showing up for cut things, but for now it's fine. If I do a frequency analysis on this, you can see the various segments. These are sorted by the count of lines, but if I sort it by the start time, you can see the segments in order, and you can see how long everything is. And actually, this is a very useful display of this. And so I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh right, so I spent a lot of time introing mag matter, and I don't want to spend 6 minutes doing that anyway. I should be closer to 2 or 3, so I'll cut things from that. I'm noticing that the question 4 takes up, I don't know, 10, 12, 13 minutes. More even. That's going to be 20 minutes. So I got to cut that down, I think. I don't know. There's some interesting facts in there. So I have to make some hard choices. And then questions 5 and 6. And then we talk about abundance and hardness. And those are kind of interesting. I would cut a little bit from this. Anyway, this is all my cutting ideas, and I don't need to go through all this right now, but it makes it so clear what I need to be looking at least to a first degree, and then I'll be cutting things and seeing it get shorter. So now if you look at the bottom, we've got the duration. Well, the maximum end time is 1:15, 1 hour 15 minutes, but the current duration minus all the cut things is 1 hour and 6 minutes. That's super handy already. And if I cut more things, it should go down. Let's actually see this in action here. So if I'm going to cut, I'm not going to cut an but here, I'm going to cut this whole section on the Eliadics here. I don't think I'm going to use that. So yeah, that did not change it because the values, the aggregated values are cached. So I have to figure out how to reset the cache, as is a vdaw issue, not a vdaw issue. But anyway, so we are here. It seems to be largely functional, which is a good place to be. And what we're doing today is there's three things I want to do. One is, here we go. These are the three things here. And there's a couple other things we could look at too. Maybe I'll wind up changing those. But I changed the edit row since I first made the combine rows command to use just the raw dictionaries of things. And now I have this more general edit row that we've created here, which has that information like the dictionary has, but actually it's not just the data object, but it's got the ability to compute the start and end and duration times. This is actually why the duration is showing up as nothing for the cut segments. And then it also has the ability to split at a word or split at time. Those are two major functions that I added in there. So the combined rows, though, we didn't update. And so it's just making a new row with this adderdict. I think the first thing we're going to look at is to fix this, and that will complete our transition to edit row, I think, if we do that and expand row. Let me make sure that I can do expand row also. I have this bug about the duration not working. I think that the actual content of this bug is incorrect. Well, that's interesting. Sorry, now I'm just looking at this. The start and end aren't working for these cut things, but for newly cut things it is. So it makes me think that the saving may not be working. I don't know. Actually, I'm going to dive into this row here and see if start is not actually set here. So let me look into the subrow is set here. Okay, so we could set it. I think, yeah. I want to fix that bug. Basically, the start, end, and duration. So I don't think it's the exact bug that I'm mentioning here. I think it has to do with uncut rows is empty. And it's not just duration, it's start, end, duration for cut rows. Okay, and then finally today we want. This is a big one. Well, maybe a hard one. I'm actually not sure how I'm going to do this. But, oh, hi Anya, I just saw your message here. No stream tomorrow. We'll be recording. So unless I do it in the morning, which I guess there's a possibility I do. But no stream at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Because we'll be in this, well, I'll be streaming. It won't be a live stream, but I'll be recording audio with Mike. And so it just won't be on here. Anyway, the final thing that I want to do is this, so it's that if I press play on this, it should skip the cut segment here. So I don't know if this is how this is gonna work here. It might. Well, let's see.
So the Eliadics were onto something.
Yes, there were, and
So the Eliadics were onto
something.
Yes, there were, and actually is a theory. This is way off topic, but there is a theory that
yeah.
So
Okay, so it's not even starting in the right place. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I might be looking at the wrong file. I've got so many different versions of this now. I need to be a little more dialed in as to how I'm organizing things. Classic editing problem. But the idea is that, yeah, before I was using the cursor to indicate that, and it would manually skip a row and then start playing at the next uncut row. But we're not using the cursor anymore to indicate that. And so we have to some other way keep track of where the current playhead is and notice skip. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's I'm not sure I'm going to do that. But those are our tasks for today. So I guess let's get started. Oof. So I've added everything in here, and I may actually just commit that just to be on the right page here. So this is going to be internal cleanup, add bump, speed change on F5 and F8. That's kind of it. Okay. So let's try this here, combining rows. I know it's just not going to work. Let me at least put together the test here, though. So if I'm going to, okay, let's just try this. I want to record or do an intro. Actually, I'm going to set this to intro. Oh gosh, all these are. Okay. So let's say I wanted to select everything, all this intro, and then G, close it up. Now that did actually work. Well, it looked like it worked anyway, but it's not creating an edit row. It's just creating an adder dict. So what's not working there? Oh, I think I can't split now in the same way. If I play this.
Hello, welcome to MagWorld. We like to ask big questions.
Yeah, so couldn't find that time because it's just one big single chunk. So we're going to change this to an edit row, and then we should be able to edit this. Now, one thing I wanted to also say here is that I've got the reformatting working, but I haven't actually reformatted this, and/or it hasn't stuck. Let's make sure this actually is working here. GR, and that reformats every non-edited thing, and it does work. There we go. And oh, that's right. The last thing I was doing last night to get it working was I was making sure that the cut level would be kept in this case. Now this is actually interesting. The duration is not working for anything that's cut not 0, so that's a bug. Duration empty for cut greater than 0. So I have to fix that because there actually is a duration for this, and it needs to be taking that into account. So anyway, so that works, and that's great. It means we can just do this. Let's combine. Let's do this. Let's do the select everything, and that same thing I just did here. I'll keep that as an intro, whatever. And then we're going to try saving it as. I'm a little nervous, which is I have to get over that. This is exactly the same problem I have with Visited every single time I do stuff with it, is that I've seen every bug that it can possibly have, and so in my head there always feels like there are more bugs. But I work through the bugs, and the general experience is that it's pretty legit. There of course are bugs, but we fix them, and so other people's experience is that it just winds up working most of the time. But it's not my experience, and so I'm more paranoid than everybody else. But maybe with good reason. I'm actually actively developing this. So, okay, so we're going to save that to that E and make sure that that can be reloaded here. And it looks all legit. Cut, sure, yep, cut 0, fine. Yeah, that's all legit. Okay. So, let's see. I wanted to combine these rows. So that's nice. I can just comma to select this whole section and then combine it. Now it's combined, but again, it's not correct. So let's go to the combine rows here. And I think I just want to set this, make this an edit row. I don't want to set the text because you're already computing that. That's the join is in there. The speaker, now I do actually want to set the speaker to the join of the speakers in the uncut rows. I think that's still legit. The section, yeah, either it's a join like the speaker, or it's the, oh yeah, thanks Anya for mentioning MIDI Chef, doing a lot of polishing on the past few years. And actually, I had an issue that I thought I should, I mean, it's not here now. I think if I make this screen shorter, you'll see it here. It's those pluses on the right. I think I want to take a screenshot and file a bug and see if we can get MIDI Chef to fix that. Or at least somebody to fix it. Maybe it's me too, but I want to just be a user for a hot second and fix and log it as a bug. Anyway, it works when your window's big enough, so I'm not too worried. I guess when the screen is after the edge, the actual sheet edge. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So combine rows, sure. Give it that section, sure. Oh, if cut, if not cut, or cut less than 0. This is taking into account the none case. It might just be that we were going to make all cut be 0, which means false or none, but it actually doesn't mean false. It means undecided. We're going to be very much more explicit, making things be very deliberately cut less than 0 or kept greater than 0. That's my current plan anyway. Okay, and then the start time, it automatically figures it out. The sub rows will be that. What are the things does edit row take? The cut, I believe. Header, sub rows, cut. Header. That's, honestly, that should be, no, the header stays the same. We're going to want to update the output here. I'll hold this a little bit lower here. Output should descend into edit rows. Lower headers are subheaders. That'd be pretty nice. That's actually kind of what I do want, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm not sure what to do with this here. I think just leave it blank and you can set a new header if you want. And then the cut value, oh, you know what though? We actually are setting this in the edit row. I made a change last night, I believe, that if we're not specifying the cut, if we are specifying the cut, then we just set it. We can do all that work, but we shouldn't have to do all that work. If we're specifying the sub rows, then it will get a max of the cut. Basically, the idea is that if anything's kept, the highest priority thing to be kept is the cut level. Maybe I should call it the keep level. I don't know. But otherwise, it's going to be 0, undecided. And so, all right. No, if everything is negative, then it will use that too. It's only in the case that anything is undecided that it will default to 0. Anyway, we don't need it. It's set here. And so if I use this here and then remove the current, remove all of the rows, put in here. They should be consecutive, but I'm not going to enforce that. I'm just going to let you do whatever. And here you go. I think this might actually just do it. This may be pretty simple. So let's go back out here. I saved everything. If I combine it, there it is. And speaker Sol mic, that's great. If I play and cut, let's see if, oh my god, let's see if this works. This would be so nice if it does. Pray with me.
Estimates and quantify literally everything on a magnitude scale.
Okay, so why did that start? let me dive into, I should be able to press enter and dive into that. Actually, that'd be great. If I could press enter to dive into a rolled up section, just get a little subscript. Oh, okay, let's add that. Enter to dive into, not section, but row. New sheet with subrows. Oh, that'd be so great. So that would actually help us here determine what's going on. Maybe I should just do that straight away. Shall I? Let's do it. Reload. Here's going to be open row, I believe it's called. And it takes a row. This is going to be the enter key is defined by default to call open row with the row. And let's see here. So I basically just want to return a new podcast editing sheet, which will wind up, it'll be a transcript editing sheet in about 3 minutes here. I'll add that up here. And it might be transcript editing, it might be just transcript sheet. Anyway, with our, what would it be, self dot, our names plus the section, I guess. Seems fine for the moment. And let's see here. I'm going to add the source. No, we have to make it so that the source can be a collection of rows. Now maybe it's just, oh, you know what? Okay, hold on. Source equals the actual source. But rows equals row dot subrows. Gosh, is that going to work? That would be amazing if it did. So the idea is that if we set the rows, oh, then source audio. Oh, we already have source audio here. Source audio MPV. We'll have a new. Well, you can either use the other the previous MPV or the previous one. Okay, we're gonna say here, I think all this is legit, and what we're gonna wind up doing is instead of, okay, we're gonna pull that out over here. Yes, this is the current best place for it. Okay. So we don't need anything else, but this could be self.rows or, and then that way if we already have passed in the rows, we don't need to. And so this is, if not self.rows, then we need that. Otherwise, source rows equals, I guess it's source rows, isn't it? That would be self.source rows. And so the idea is that we're going to be able to pass in a source rows thing here and have it iterate through all of these pieces. Oh, this is not necessary anymore. That was when I renamed. I just renamed things casually and then didn't recognize it as a no-op now. Okay. And so do I have to... So this way you can use for both. And if I source rows, source audio, okay, so open row, this is source rows and source audio. I will at least make this be a little nicer here. Okay, so let's see, will this work, I wonder? Why wouldn't it work? Guess let's find out. Oh, because source rows is none. Am I using this next header now? Oh, what? Okay, I don't need this crap. Clean up. An IL vdaw. Well, that's interesting. Do I need... Oh, there we go. This one is what I want. Maybe that's not important. Maybe it's all just working. Okay, so we're going to close it up. There we go. Duration's 45 seconds. Sounds good. Go to that sheet. Does not like me. Why not? Edit row has no attribute get. Oh, it's source audio. Okay, let's see if this does better. It's kind of nice that it's comma G close paren enter is our test. And aside from those errors, which well, we'll see if it plays, but otherwise, it looks like it actually created a sheet, 44 seconds long. Let's try playing it. Ah.
Let's try it. I'm new here. You should know that on a Mac.
Okay, so that totally works, and that's great. The problem that we had before was that, look at the start was 9.9 seconds. The start of 9.2 seconds for some reason is the start of this thing. Even though if we dive into it, the start should be 4.6 seconds. So that's weird. Oh, look at it. It's looking at the first end is the start. Why is that? Okay. Well, so here we are. That's a good diagnostic tool, and we added that, no problem. Now we can do a sub thing. Let's mark that off. Yes, cool. So now rolling things up is looking real sweet. I think I have a hunch that it has to do with these cut points. And if we dove into this, oh, huh. Well, that's pretty neat. That's great that worked. I had a hunch that that was starting at the wrong time. If we look at this now, where is the 9.2? Why is it looking at, it's the last start? Is it looking at max start? So it's not right at all. Why does it do that? Okay, well, now we have to figure this out. Here's the issue. The bug that we're looking at now is top priority. The start time for combined row is wrong. I don't know what the actual issue is, Wombat. Wombat looks so cute in his little snuggie, doesn't he? I like having you here, buddy. All of you guys. Anya, Wombat, whoever else is here right now. I can't tell, of course, but roll call. If anyone else is here, please say hello. And then I will love that you're here too. It really helps me. It's been what, a week and a half? No, more. This has been, well, it's been a week and a half of live streaming, and then the previous week of pre-recorded live streaming. And it's really been helping my motivation. I've probably coded some, I don't know, 20 hours maybe, not even, but still more than I would have coded, I think, without this, and making good amount of progress. I'm actually really excited about this. I mean, it's a dorky little tool, but I think it's actually going to work for me, so that's good. Anyway, the start time for the combined row is wrong. Now, why are you that way? The start time will be computed from the subrows. I guess, and it's cached, so once it's done, oh, the data, maybe the data section, no, it's empty. Okay, good. Yeah, so basically the other thing I did last night was I combined so before that was everything but the lower level word things were edit rows, and then the lower level word things were just these atterdicts. And so, because they didn't actually need the data. You can't compute the start time from nothing. The start time can be computed if you have the bottom level leaf objects that have the start times included there. But anyway, in order to unify that lower level leaf things into the edit row, or I basically made all of the objects be edit rows, which is really nice and convenient. That's why we could just press enter on one of these and have it drop down right into the subsheet with those too, which is super handy. They all have to be edit rows. And the way that I made the leaves is that instead of it being like these properties just return the data element instead of so the leaf is like just data now, but it also has the same kind of structure as the edit row. Okay, so why is start saying the minimum of the end? What? This is all bunk. This is the minimum of the start and the max of the end. It's just, I don't know. It's just bunk. Okay, select, close, start looks good, play.
Hello. Welcome
Great.
to Mag World, where we like to ask big questions, make wild guesstimates, and
Okay, so I did press an A after Mag World. It didn't show up correct, but it's not 100% wrong. Well, I mean, it is 100%. Well, it did the thing. It just didn't do it right. Now, I'm not sure if it's because the timing of those. Oh, okay. Probably because Mag World where 5.9, 5.2. Okay, so I think this is just a word timings issue again, and I'll have to fix that. So we are kind of coming down to we need to do better with our transcript. But to a first degree, the fact that I can even do that, I don't have an undo yet, which is unfortunate. I need to bump that up. Undo. This one, put that up here. Oh, can I do that? I don't know if that makes any sense to me, but okay. So we fixed that bug for the combined row. That was an easy one. That's good. And if dive into this. That's only the two things. There it is. Okay, this is actually looking pretty good. So let's fix the start and end time of the and the duration for the cut rows. Why aren't they showing up? I think that's might be another easy one here. The idea is that we're only looking in the uncut rows because we want, well, okay, as I think this through, the duration, if the entire thing is cut, the duration should be 0. It's kind of like a way to just tally it up easily, like looking at it in the column, what's the duration? Oh, this is cut, it's not even going to be in there. So I think that might even be legit to have the duration stay as 0, or it shows it was empty. But then the start and the end, do feel like I want to keep those in there, and so it's looking at the uncut rows. Maybe it should just go in rows. Should it be all the sub rows? That'll show us the start and end time. That's kind of what I want, isn't it? Okay, maybe that's legit. Section headers. Yeah, okay. So comma, close it. That's still fine. That's good. You know what? I think that might be the right collection. We want this to be the case. Use yeah, okay, sure. Okay. Whoa, hey, wait. Our duration now is 1 hour 49? Why is that? There's a chance that it's a caching issue. Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense, though, does it? Hour 49. Where'd you all come from? Let's go back there. 9 minutes. That looks like 9 minutes. Basically, okay, if we look at the duration sum, n max minus start min, we're going to do total duration. Duration sum minus total duration minus duration sum. This should be always positive, but it's usually negative. If I sum this here, okay, so the actual n minus start sum is 1 hour 16 total. Now, why is this sum half an hour more? Yeah, I know, but I cleaned a lot of that stuff up, and I thought that that would, I mean, given the next bug on our list here, the duration being empty for cut greater than 0, I would have expected to be less than 116, not substantially more. Is it double counting? But like, how would it be double counting? What's the actual issue here? Everything in uncut rows, and it should be diving into that. Why are there 3 whole extra minutes in the periodic table? Oh, look at that. It's not. It's actually correct here. I have duplicate rows or something? Maybe I do. This is why I did those, to go there. Nine minutes. Okay, so if we sum that up, n minus start. There's an extra minute and a half. Oh, that's all the, okay, that's all the edits there. That's fine. Well, it's not fine though. 113, 6 should be the 6 minutes that we're used to, not the 10 minutes here. What? I mean, I guess there's a, no, wait, duration minus, it's all legit, but it still says 9 minutes. Whereas, gosh, dang it. Huh. So all of the n minus starts are the same as the durations, and those all add up to this thing. Is there overlap? There is overlap. That's substantial though. Oh, interesting. It actually might be substantial. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, look at all these times that are not, that are bunk here. Okay, I see. So this is again a timing issue. They're kind of all over the place. I mean, they're not. They aren't. I mean, they are, but yeah, the so's. That, for instance, these two so's are exactly inverted. Huh. So I will need. Oh, that's aggravating, isn't it? Well, I'm gonna have to skip by that for the moment. And that's more like adding 40%. Okay. So, well, that's okay. At least it'll, yeah. Okay, well, let's not explore that anymore. Let's go back here and fix the duration empty for cut greater than 0. So dragons was my thing here. Look at that. Cut is that. How do I get duration? This might be an easy one. Hoping. Uncut rows should be. Oh, here we go. If not. Oh. Get a duration. Okay, well that's easy enough here. Get a duration if I have is cut. I have is cut on the edit row. Yeah, there's okay. Here we go. So getter duration. Let's pass the edit row, and it's going to be. I think I'm just going to now use uncut rows. We already have that. I don't need it here. And actually, wait a second. Now that I have this, this is all unnecessary, I think. I think that this is going to be the, this is just another edit column, because they're all edit rows. So that's going to fix that. Oh, now duration's not working at all? Okay, sounds good. Why not? Oh, because it got it? Okay. Well, doesn't quite make sense. My idea was that it got the answer before the sheet had finished doing its work, or the row had finished loading, but that shouldn't be none. Huh. Okay, so why doesn't yeah, it might be this caching. Okay, we're going to turn off the caching for a hot minute. And just see if this works, if I'm right about it. Oop, right about being the caching. No. Header column, duration, and it's an edit row. How could it be? Wow. Okay. If I return foo for this, is it gonna give me a foo? Yeah. Okay, so that's actually working. I was calling it anyway. Don't make no sense. How that would be returning a none. Like literally what code path is giving us a none here? Must be this type error. There's only 3 of them though. Huh. And how did I screw that up?